G'day everyone, and good morning to you all. Now, you all seem to like the last video where we did a whole bunch of different squid spots on the eastern side of Melbourne. And in today's episode, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing the same thing, but shooting over to the western suburbs this time. And we're going to be chasing a squid in each suburb there, starting from Williamstown and moving all the way over to Werribee. This is going to be a banger video, so make sure you guys watch until the end to learn some tips, tricks, and where to catch squid from. But anyways, I'm not going to keep you guys waiting any longer. Enjoy the show. Alright, so I'm digging through my squid jig box just for a nice jig to use, and I reckon because that water clarity, it's a little bit of a dirtier tinge to it, but we've still got a nice sunny day, so I reckon a red jig is going to go pretty well. And if I don't get something on that, I'm going to switch over to an orange. And as you can see, we're just over at Williamstown here. We've got the water tanks in the background, Time Bull Tower and the shore, Melbourne CBD in the background. Always love having that city as a backdrop, absolutely beautiful. Let's get it. So in the last video, I seemed to get quite a few questions of people asking if all those spots on the eastern side of Melbourne were accessible to kayakers. And the short answer to that question is 100% yes. I'm only probably about 200 to 300 meters away from the shore here. So any kayaker can simply launch from the beach, come out here and do the exact same thing that we're doing. The only reason we're doing this sort of challenge on a boat is because we can cover a lot more ground in probably 3 or 4 hours before that wind picks up, as opposed to what a kayak can. Yep. We cast and flick the bail arm over at the same time. Yep, I'm on. That's a good squid. Alright everyone, so just hooked up to the first squids of the day, just off Williamstown here. He's on the surface. Work these guys pretty. He's got a bit of weight in him, but I reckon that might just be a bit of the wind. Oh well, first squid. And Williamstown too. What depth are we? 2.1. Not a convincing hook. Oh, cheers. Cool. Whee. Bit of an angry bugger. Oh, just popped out on the red jig there. First squid of the day. Nice sized one here. And just like the other video, we're not going to keep any squid today unless they die on us. So let's send him back. There he goes. Alrighty everyone, so beautiful squid ticked off at Williamstown, and we've now just arrived to Altona Reef, which is just off Seahome. So we're probably about 500 to 600 meters off the shore here. So let's see if we can tick off a squid at Seahome. Alright everyone, so first cast at Seahome on a new drift line, and it's not a bad one, just out there. I thought there was a follower behind him, could be wrong though. He's a greedy one. Look at how he's taken that. Nice. Yep, well, we'll get a double. This one was the follower that I pointed out to Dad, and he's hooked by one candle, so I'm expecting him to get off, but I'm hoping he doesn't. There we go. Not happy. There we are everyone. Two beautiful squid right there, just off the Altona stick. And these two are both going back in the water. Oh, he's off. He just fell out of my hands. Altona sticks right over there and had a double hookup of 2 beautiful sized squid. So now that's sea home ticked off with 2 squid, so 3 for the day. And what we're going to do is we're going to move over to more so Altona Meadows area, and I'm going to catch you guys when we get there. I had a little thought to myself that maybe if I stop just before the Altona red stick, which is just there, that I might get another one. So this is more so Altona than Sea Home. Sea Home's just over there, and this is more so Altona area. Pierce Street is just over there. So before I move over to my usual grounds over by Altona Meadows area, I figured why not just target a bit of a new area here. And this area, along with the other ones, is easily accessible to kayakers. Probably about 400 or 500 meters off the nearest beach just there. And there's a few kayak launching facilities as you go along the esplanade here. Alright, it's taken a little while to get onto another. But this guy's just, yeah, he's just a small bugger. I'll lift him, I think. Whoa! Dodging bullets. Nice squid there. Altona sticks. Just here. And gonna give it a release. Swam up strong. 3rd suburb ticked off for the day, so we're gonna go on to the next one and see you guys there. Altona Meadows right now. As you can see, there's just a foreshore there. This spot is accessible to kayaks, but it is about 1.4, 1.5 mile from the nearest point of launch. So you can launch adjacent from Apex Park, but it's a bit of a pedal over here. You would have seen before, this is basically my home grounds here. I've caught squid with Cameron here before. I've caught squid on my own. I've caught squid off the boat, and I've caught squid off the kayak. I've caught pretty big ones off here as well, and I've caught, you know, your average size ones. So this just goes to show that there's squid along here, and I've just got to find them, which shouldn't be an issue, and I'll get back to you guys when I get one. Come on, squidlies. Just need one. I don't really think that's too much to ask. Just one squid, and then we can move on to the next location. That was a fish. Jeez. Yep, he was chasing that for a while, I'm pretty sure. Oh, 1 candle. Got him. Oh, and that jig's just come off, I think. Yep. Here we are, squid off the normal grounds. It took a bit longer than I thought it would, but he's a nice model for this area. Nice model for this area. And like all the other ones, he's going to deserve the same treatment, and he's going back. See you, mate. So now we're going to shoot down the coast, and we're going to go on to the next location, which is only about a mile away. So stay tuned till we get there. Alright, and so we've made it over to Point Cook right now. So we're just over there about 1 mile, and now we've just come over to Point Cook. As you can see, there's a stick right there, and then that goes all the way along here. That's actually the Point Cook Marine Sanctuary, but we're well and truly outside of it. So we're just gonna cast. Just gonna cast, and we're gonna hope we can pick one up pretty quick, but it's been pretty slow today, so I don't know how we're gonna go. Alright, so it's taken a little while, but we finally got one over at Point Cook, and it's not a bad one, I don't think. I had to swap jigs over to this one because my old one wasn't really getting many hits. There we are. That took way longer than it should have. There we are, everyone. Nice squid here. The marine sanctuary is just here, but we're well and truly out of it. So send this one back. Oh, we just darted off. There he goes. Alright, and we've made it to the 7th suburb of the day. Well, it's not technically a suburb. I'd count it as sort of more of an area. It's Campbell's Cove right now. So all along here until just after the raft base is Campbell's Cove. And as you can see, the water here is crystal clear. It's a lot clearer than what it was around the other side. This area is well known for squid, and there's a few people here going for some whiting. And it is pretty accessible to some kayaks. I think the launching facility are just over there, so it's pretty good. So let's see how we go. Overall, this challenge has been pretty good. I have a good feeling this is going to be a quick one, I reckon. After watching this video and watching the other video, you might wonder how squid are holding in all these areas around Melbourne. It's just because mostly this ground here is a lot of rubbly rock with a bit of weed beds, and often those squid will hang around there for a bit of protection or a bit of breeding and whatnot. And that's just the areas that you're supposed to target for these squid. I've swapped rods once again to this jig, and I probably should have been using this from the start because just hooked up to another big one, and he's only hooked by one. Yep. Don't come off. Alright, let's get a look at this one and get it back in the water quick. Yep, very, very nice. Nice big sized one, taken right there on that white jig. I probably should have been using this jig. I've been swapping rods. Oh, about to, yep. Been swapping rods every here and there. What a way to end the day off. Well, see you, bud. Thanks for playing. Alright, and the last squid ticked off for today, so we're going to punch back over to Williamstown because the wind's starting to pick up a little bit, and we have ticked off all the suburbs that we wanted to for today. This one was once again really fun to film, and to end the day off like that with another big one that's pretty good. So anyways, catch you guys back at the ramp. Just like that, another day's squid fishing is done. Thank you all so much for watching. Today's efforts was pretty good. We ended up with about 8 squid, which I'm pretty happy about. Doesn't beat last time when we were over at the east. We got 9, but that's still pretty good. 8 as an effort. And just to point out something, we had the tide, which was just coming off the full tide, so it's unfavorable for squid. We had the moon is just coming into a new moon, so that's also unfavorable for us, and that wind. If you have a look now, that wind is pushing about 15-16 knots. I don't know if the camera can do it any justice, but the fork and the beacon around us is showing 16 knots. So that's really, really bad for squid fishing. But it just goes to show that even in terrible conditions and where it seems unfavorable to you, you can still catch squid. But it's just all about finding the ground that the squid are holding and finding what jig works on that particular day, because they're very picky with that. All these areas were also accessible to kayaks, apart from probably Point Cook. But otherwise, if you do have a kayak, you can access these spots easily. But thank you all so much for watching the video. If you did happen to enjoy this one, I'd highly recommend that you like and subscribe to the channel. If you are new, or if you're recurring and you want to see more content, it does help me a ton in producing these videos, and it's also for you, so that way you can stay up to date with videos, tips, tricks, reports, and everything you need to know about fishing. And if you have made it this far, just drop a comment down below on what video ideas you'd like to see next, and I'll get back to you with those. Western suburbs are now ticked off for this challenge, so it's now time to find a new area to do it. Anyways, we'll catch you guys in the next one.